Hi, my name is Sue Levy, and I'm the founder of Savory Living, and I am so excited to help you activate healthy eating to reduce inflammation and feel great in the new year. This is me and my family, and my mission is to make a million lives better with the power of food as medicine. I know firsthand what's possible when you get your eating working right for you. So I'm 48 years old, and I want to take you back to my mid 30s. And that's really when my health started to change. So I had all sorts of digestive issues, IBS, acid reflux, delayed gastric emptying. My cholesterol and triglycerides were rising. I had headaches, and I was diagnosed with an ultra rare and progressive lung disease that I live with today. They told me at the time of my diagnosis it wasn't good and that I would need a lung transplant probably in 10 years' time. And only half of the women are still alive 10 years after the transplant. But I'm an optimist. And they said, you know what? Lifestyle intervention could help. And I thought, I'm going to give that a try. So I went back to school to study nutrition. And I put into place what the experts had to say about eating to support your health. When done correctly, healthy eating reduces inflammation, which is connected to most of the major diseases and conditions of our time. And when I figured out how to activate it in my life and get it working right for me, well, that's when the transformation happened. I took off that extra belly fat. No more headaches, cholesterol, triglycerides normal. And I'm going to knock on wood here because it's now about 14 years and I'm not on a single medication to manage my digestive issues, and my lungs have been holding firm and strong. And I just feel so much better. And what I know is that what they tell you is absolutely right. How you eat really matters, but changing it can be so hard to do. But it's really possible. It just takes knowledge, food skills, and support to make it happen. And I want to put that power in everyone's hands. So I created Savory Living, and at the end of this workshop, you're going to learn more about the unique offer, but you can experience the first session totally for free. You get a 25% discount if you choose to sign up for the rest of the program, and you can learn more about it at savoryliving.com/HPHC for Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare. So our goal this year, right, is you feeling great. And it turns out about half of us could be feeling better. We're living with a disease or condition that's driven by inflammation and improvable with diet. So in today's webinar, I'm going to talk to you about Inflammation 101, what it is, why it matters, and some signs. I'm going to give you some easy tips you can use now to reduce it. And then I'm going to talk to you about the program and the free trial and your discount. So your health, if I said to you, name 3 things that would improve how you felt in your overall health, you'd probably say these 3. I need to exercise. I need to eat better. I need to get more sleep and manage the stress in my life. And these are absolutely right. The one that I focus on is the eating better, because you cannot outmaneuver a bad diet. And at its core, health, you'll see, is really the absence of inflammation, and you can eat to reduce it in really easy ways. So what is inflammation, and why are you hearing so much about it now? It turns out inflammation is actually a good thing, right? It's a key immune system response. So it protects you from infections when a foreign threat enters your body. It also helps you heal. It's your body's response to trauma and an injury. So when you sprain your ankle and it swells up, that's good. It's usually temporary in duration, which means it stops when your healing process begins. The kind of inflammation that you're reading and hearing about is a different kind. It's called chronic silent inflammation, and that's when your immune system becomes activated but doesn't shut down. And it's dangerous because it's happening below your pain threshold, so it's silent. And they believe that's setting the stage for most of the major diseases and conditions of our time. And what it is doing is destroying healthy blood vessels, tissues, and cells. Some common causes of inflammation are when your immune system gets activated, things like an infection, living with chronic disease, and if you have an autoimmune condition, you are really prone to inflammation. And also, if you're eating foods you don't digest well, that's activating things and creating inflammation. There's also lifestyle triggers. If you're not pulling in enough vegetables, if you're taking in too much sugar, not getting enough sleep, in kind of a lot of stress, often and for long periods of time, and if you're taking painkillers like NSAIDs for long windows of time. The other thing, I hate to say it, is aging. Your immune system becomes less well regulated as you get older, and your body's secreting cytokines that induce inflammation. So what are some signs and symptoms that you may have inflammation? The first is that extra belly fat. I'm going to give you a measure to look at. If you have heart disease and stroke or any of these other things like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, high triglycerides, and even if you are managing them with medication, they are a sign that you have inflammation in your system. Autoimmune and immune conditions like rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, chronic fatigue, MS, thyroid, allergies like asthma, eczema, things with an itis are about inflammation. Pain, so things like headaches and migraines, joint pain and arthritis, fibromyalgia, digestive issues like IBS, Crohn's, colitis, ulcer, gas, bloating, heartburn, constipation, diarrhea, type 2 diabetes, metabolic syndrome, high blood sugar, brain things like Alzheimer's and dementia, depression, ADD, Parkinson's, seizures, and then cancer. A key measure you want to look at is that belly, and I don't call it your waist, it's your belly circumference. Where you carry your weight matters. Way more important, that measure, than your BMI. There's a high risk belly circumference, so measure it at your widest point. For men, if you're 40 inches or over, or women 35 inches or over, you are in a state of inflammation and you really need to bring your weight and your belly fat down. But thin people can be at risk too. So there's something called a C-reactive protein blood test that you can do to measure inflammation, but you also just want to think back on the slide I took you through, and if you have signs of it, then make some small shifts to how you eat and adjust it. The opportunity really is to use your fork and your knife as medicine. Research since the 1990s shows beyond all doubt that you can lower your risk for the most serious diseases of our time just by following a healthy diet. So what do you need to do to activate that? Because that's what I'm all about, that behavior change and making it happen. What you need to do is you need to say, I'm worth it. I'm going to set my intention. I'm going to figure this out once and for all. I'm going to eat and feel better, and I'm going to follow evidence-based recommendations. So in my program, we teach Harvard's Healthy Eating Plate. We migrate people towards the Mediterranean diet, the DASH diet. The science is clear. Don't follow woo-woo things. Follow the real science. But then you have to figure out how to activate it, and that's really about eating more foods that are reducing inflammation and eating fewer of the foods that are causing inflammation. And if you want to turn this into a lifestyle, you got to get some skills to make it taste great, or you're going to burn out and get bored eating raw everything. The second piece of this is you have to get it right for you, and that means identifying the foods you don't digest well. Undigested food particles can enter into your bloodstream, your immune system gets activated, and that creates a response. So it's more than just digestive discomfort. You really have to look at if there's things that are a problem for you. How do you eat less of them? What substitutions can you make? Get the balance of everything working right for you. So your job basically is to think about what you're adding in and crowding in, the plus side, and then what you're going to eat less of, the subtraction side. But I really want you to focus on the green plus side, because you pull in the right stuff, you will get your body what it needs to manage inflammation and do what it needs to do. And it's a way more inspiring way to live. So what do you want to eat more of? Real, whole, natural foods. Michael Pollan said it beautifully when he said, if your great grandmother wouldn't recognize it as food, don't eat it. And what you are doing is you are crowding in fiber, nutrients, and things that are reducing inflammation and letting your body do that. You want to make vegetables and fruits about half of what you eat a day. And when I say eat the rainbow, I don't mean Skittles, okay? Just tons of colors, tons of variety, half of it raw, half of it cooked. And some of the big boosters you want to focus on are those dark leafy greens, the strawberries, the blueberries, the apples. You want to include protein when you're eating because it slows the release of sugar, and you'll learn about sugar and inflammation. Some of the big boosters are those plant-based sources of protein, like the beans. Do you do a bean burger? Do you do beans at the salad bar at lunch? Do you get all those awesome bean dips you can now find in the supermarket? And then fatty fish, things like salmon and mackerel. Include healthy fats when you eat. So that's the avocados, the olives, nuts and seeds. Just look for unsalted versions, and some big inflammatory busters are things like walnuts and almonds. Your tip to get more of these into your day, and if you're trying to make them half of what you eat, you gotta diversify and you need to play with texture and temperature. That is really the key to the picky eater. So you want to get an apple into your day. Is it a sweet red gala apple? Is it a tart Granny Smith apple? Is it whole? Is it cut up into pieces? Is it warm and baked? Your job is to play around with this stuff. Is it beans that's a salad that you chew through, or is it a bean dip that's creamy and blended? You need to figure this out and get more of this stuff into your day. And another tip is you got to learn how to flavor food. So the key to unlocking the picky eater is understanding what types of cuisines you like. And then you surround the foods you want to eat more of with those cuisines. And that's what my program teaches you how to do. So a great example is we were just talking about beans. If I said, why don't you eat more beans, right? And you say, I don't really like Mexican food. Okay. Every global cuisine uses a bean. Do you like Italian? All right, that's a white bean, a cannellini bean. The profile is garlic, olive oil, splash of lemon. We throw in some chicken sausage, some broccoli, and bam, you are loving that bean because it's surrounded in flavors and things that you like. All right, now let's talk about what you want to eat less of. Packaged processed foods. Let me explain why. Think of it like the opportunity cost when you're eating. They have very little nutritional value, so you are not pulling in the things that we just talked about that your body needs. In addition to that, though, they tend to be higher in sugar, fats, and salt, so they are ultimately creating more inflammation in your system. Fried foods as well. So I love my potato chips, but understanding potato chips, fried chicken, these things are not great for you as it relates to inflammation. So enjoy them when you're going to have them, but know what you're doing when you're doing it. Harvard basically says limit red meat. They say have no more than about one serving a week, right? So they say limit, they don't say avoid, but look at what they use the word avoid for. They talk about processed meats, and that's cold cuts, hot dogs, bacon, salami. Basically, that's because of the links to inflammation and some connections to cancer. So what you can do are make some easy substitutions, like go into that market, buy the rotisserie chicken instead, slice it up, get it into your sandwiches, your salads, instead of those cold cuts. Let's talk about sugar. Sugar is sugar is sugar. So this idea that there's a healthy version of sugar is just really not true. So there's agave, honey, maple syrup. Your body is still responding with your insulin response, and that's the piece that we want to pay attention to. So the problem with sugar isn't that we're having it, it's that the average American is taking in 3 times the amount we were ever designed to handle. And that's hurting us. So I'm going to teach you one thing to look at, because I know we got to buy packaged foods, right? So how do you navigate that grocery aisle? How do you pick things at the Starbucks or the gas station or the airport or wherever you are that work better for you? One tip that we teach people in our program is when you're buying packaged foods, look at the sugar in grams, and you've got a daily limit that you want to stick to. Okay, so for women, it's 24 grams. For men, it's 36. Write that number down, and then you can see the kid numbers. Turn that package over, look at the nutritional panel, and look at the serving size, because you might need to multiply that number by 2 or 3. But this power type bar, right, a grain bar, is 29 grams of sugar. That's more than my whole day. So what do you do with that information? Well, you use it as power. When you're choosing things, choose versions with less sugar. So instead of the Lara bar at 24, go for the Kind bar at 5. Instead of the raisins that are coated in sugar in the Raisin Bran version of Total, go for the whole grain. Throw your own raisins in, and you're better off. If you're going to have yogurt, don't go for those flavored versions. You're better off putting your own vanilla in, your own honey in, than you are going for the flavored ones. Buy plain Greek yogurt and add your own stuff to it. Check out that smoothie at the top, though. I just want to alert you to that. Oh my gosh, that one is like 38 grams of sugar. Develop a taste for water. Soda 65, sports drinks 34, juice things 16, vitamin water 32, iced teas 24, energy drinks 23. I used to love and drink a lot of Paul Newman's lemonade, and each cup is like 27 grams of sugar. And check out the orange juice at 22 grams. Go for regular coffee. Coffee is actually pretty good for your health. The challenge are the milkshakes or the sugar bombs that we create out of it. So depending on what you're having, a small can be anywhere from 45 to 65 grams of sugar, and a large anywhere from 85 to 140. I want to talk to you about grains because this is kind of an area where there's the most kind of variability. And what we find in our program is that's really where you need some guidance and you need to experience and test to figure out what's right for you. So when I talk about a grain, there's an intact whole grain, which is like a quinoa, a rice, a barley, right? And then there's a product made from a flour from a grain. That would be like a bread, a pasta, a cereal, a pizza. So why can't you just eat as many whole grains as you want? We've been led to believe they're health foods. And so here's the deal. Yes, whole grains have nutrients and nutrients that your body needs. So they are absolutely part of a healthy diet. The challenge is that all grains, even whole grains, they're higher in sugar than other foods in your day. So we're looking at glycemic load, and that covers kind of how much insulin your body has to produce as a result of that carbohydrate getting broken down in your system. So there's exceptions in everything under the green. There's some mid to high that you learn about in my program, but by and large, these foods are low, and most grains are mid to high. So let's compare. If I said to you, would you drink a can of regular Coke? The glycemic load is 16. Remember, we're just talking about sugar. When I look at some of these whole grain products, a bagel is 20, a bran muffin 15, corn muffin 30, crackers 14, half a cup of brown rice 26, quinoa 18, oatmeal 13 to 17. Remember, I'm not saying they're nutritionally the same. They're not. There's value in the whole grain products, but from a sugar standpoint, if you have signs of inflammation, you gotta play with sugar, and eating too many grains might be where you're getting skunked. Each slice of whole grain bread, 10. Those bars, 18 to 25. Each slice of pizza, 22. Mac and cheese, 32. Don't get me started on our kids. Yeah, have a bagel for breakfast. Have some orange juice. Let's have mac and cheese for lunch and pizza for dinner. And bam, what's going on? Okay, so you can have these grains. And in fact, they're part of a healthy diet. You just want to choose 100% whole before the type of grain. Read it on the front of your labels. And then you really need to figure out how many are right for you. Some people need 3 and do better with 3, and other people notice, you know what, I can't, I do better with 1. And a serving is half a cup of cooked and 1 slice of bread or a waffle. And my program helps people really figure this piece of it out. And then the second piece, which is really important, is people have sensitivities to grains. So gluten, corn, soy, if you have trouble digesting them, that can be creating inflammation in your system, and you really need to figure it out. So here's the summary. How you eat to reduce inflammation is really activating a foundation of healthy eating, but really applying it. So set your intention, eat more of the foods that are going to help your body reduce inflammation, eat fewer of the foods that cause it, and really invest and get the skills to make it taste great if you want to turn this into a lifestyle. And identify the foods you're not digesting well, and you need a systematic way to figure that out. So for those of you who say, you know what, I'm ready. I really want some help. I want to spend some time to figure this thing out and then be done with it and move on to other things in my life. My program is for you. We help people improve their life with food. It runs online and it's self-paced. So the challenge for most people is they want to eat better, but it's hard to make it happen. In fact, half of us say it's easier to do our taxes than it is to figure out how to make healthy eating happen. And I believe that's because existing solutions are falling short. They're not getting you to lasting change because they're solving 1 or 2 things, right? So there's the weight loss programs, the diets, the meal plans, the articles, the recipes, the meal kits, the prepared food, the supplements, the shakes, the bars, the food discounts. They solve some pieces, but they're not really cracking it. And I think what's missing is they're not really teaching you how to eat. They're not solving more than weight. Even if you take off that weight, if you've still got eczema flare-ups, digestive issues, headaches, it's not really solved. And for you to sustain with something, you got to know, I feel amazing and all of these things are getting fixed, right? So you would fight tooth and nail to give up your new way of eating. And also you need some new food skills. So much like you can fry an egg, make a pasta dinner, eat anywhere, you need to be able to do this in the real world in your life. So that's where our approach is unique. We are putting you in control. You're experiencing more than weight loss. Weight loss is secondary and it absolutely happens, but we want to get your energy better, your digestive issues, your headaches, your diseases, your ideal weight will come. Let's solve all of these things. We're teaching you how to do this yourself. So it's not about food math and you following something restrictively and not knowing what to do when you're on your own. This is about you flexibly applying it and making the trade-offs and choices because you understand the stuff. We are teaching you the why and behind the science. So it's evidence-based and you'll understand what the experts have to say. And then you'll also learn the food and cooking skills so you enjoy eating more of the good stuff. And it's behavior change. I've spent 20 years in that, and that is about giving people an easy way to engage, making it easy, making it something that doesn't become overwhelming, and gradually helping them get to new things that add up and really work for them. We're 12 sessions, and we are guiding you through change. We are helping you activate healthy eating to reduce inflammation. We are teaching you, and you are discovering how to eat right for you. It's designed for all eaters and all skill levels. So we have people that have a lot of food sensitivities. We have people that eat absolutely everything under the sun. We have people that know a lot about nutrition. Diabetes educators go through our program. And then we have people that are totally new to this stuff. We have people that love to cook, people that have never cooked, can't even boil water. We meet you where you are. It's a proven 12-session nutrition and cooking curriculum. And it ends when it ends, and you got what you need. It includes a private coach that's helping you solve and tinker and get it to work for you. It's FSA and HSA eligible, so flexible spending account eligible, and many insurers are reimbursing. And it runs 24/7 on your schedule on any device. So at 2 a.m. in your pajamas with your bunny slippers, you can go through the program. So here's what's going on in each session. You're learning, applying, and solving. So you are watching that class video, which is 25 minutes, and we are appealing to your brain and sharing the science and the information with you so that you say, I get it. I'm inspired to make change. There's the class. You watch it on any device you have. It's 25 minutes. Then that unlocks the cooking and the food content, so you are mastering the skills you need to be able to do this in a restaurant, at Nana's buffet table, and in your own kitchen. Each session, we are teaching you a cooking topic and skill. So this is someone viewing it on a tablet, and you can see there's different videos, there's recipe and technique sheets, flavor and food guides. And in that session there, it's me in a kitchen, 4 different videos showing you key stuff, and then some different recipe PDFs for you to try. It's never meant that you do all of it, but what you might like, someone else might like something different. And our job is to get more of these good foods in you and to give you enough to say no to and yes to, and to make it super easy for you to do it. And then you are solving that session's content. You've applied it to your life. You're working with your coach to figure out what pieces work, what don't, how many grains are right for you. How does all of this work? And that's where your coach comes in. Through the app, you are communicating with them and you are asking them questions. They are answering and they are proactively reaching out to you once a week. And we have some people that really want to coach and they love and they go back and forth and that coach gets back to you within the day. And then we have other people that really don't want to coach. So we don't take it personally. Your coach still sends you a message once a week, looks at what you're doing and reinforces some stuff, but doesn't hassle you. You solve that session after those 2 weeks and you move into the next one. There's 12 in total. And at the end of those 12, you have covered all the major topics and you've gotten to a lifestyle that you love. The key to unlocking all of this is food. Harvard and everyone else is telling us you got to eat more of these things, right? And to do it, you got to understand the science of nutrition, and it has to be applied to solve the things that you care about. And you got to learn some different food ideas, how to assemble it, how to crowd it into what you like to eat. And it's got to taste great. So there's a culinary component to all of this, right? You got to move beyond the same 3 things, prepare the same 3 ways. You don't eat your pasta plain and overcooked. So why are you doing the same thing with these beautiful vegetables? So we are teaching you how to cook the stuff, how to flavor it, and how to balance things so that it tastes amazing. I talked to you earlier about understanding global flavoring. We teach you how to flavor balance your dishes, and that's what global chefs know, so that you can take it to Italy, take it to Spain, take it to Mexico, take it to India, create flavors and surround the foods you want to eat more of with the things you and your family already like. So here's our curriculum. It is culinary nutrition at its finest. You see the 12 classes, and you can see more of this on our website. But it's basically a science nutrition class meets a cooking and flavoring and eating class. And so what you are doing each session is we are covering a major topic and the role of healthy eating. So we cover eat real, nutrient-rich foods, weekly food planning, sugar, grains, inflammation, digestion and immunity, proteins, how to navigate those labels, choose the right things, truth about fat, blood pressure, bones, dairy, calcium, and you have the opportunity to do a food trial if you still have food sensitivities by the end of the program to really uncover them. And then there's the cooking and flavoring. So this is everything, this whole curriculum I wish someone had taught me like 15 years ago. It's dark leafy greens, sweet treats, vegetables on the stove, whole grains, oven vegetables, beans, protein dishes, modern sauces, one-pot meals, healthy, safe grilling and broiling. Here are the results. 97% of our participants say the program motivated and taught me how to eat better. 95% got me to a healthy eating lifestyle that I'm still practicing. 92% program helped me improve my overall health. We have a 4.7 out of 5-star review. I encourage you to check out the reviews on our website. And people come into our program to achieve their goals. She lost 20 pounds, no more migraines, she sleeps better, and she feels healthier. These are some testimonials too. I've had eating and weight issues my entire life. I've tried other programs like Jenny Craig and Weight Watchers with some success, but I never had the aha moments I've had with the Savory Living program. What's so different is that it focuses on your health, not just losing weight, and it shares scientific information in a way that's understandable, logical, and actionable. The information sticks in your head, so it's easy to make good choices. Not only am I taking off weight, but I feel better, have more energy, sleep better, and know I can sustain the lifestyle changes the program taught me. This program is phenomenal. It's real eating and enjoyable. I've tried other programs and they don't compare. I feel like a new person. The recipes are easy and absolutely delicious. I've tried new foods and enjoy cooking again. I have energy I didn't have before. I've lost weight and I have less pain and inflammation. There's a no risk free trial. If you're even considering it, what I would say is help me get to my Million Lives Made Better. You get to experience the first session of my program completely for free. No strings, no contracts, no credit card, nothing. You watch class, you pick your actions, you log how you're doing for the 2 weeks. You've got a coach working with you. And if you sign up through Harvard Pilgrim, I will be your coach. And you get to experience and make some changes that add up. And if at the end of those 2 weeks, when we say you're ready for session 2, you say, I want in, you sign up then, but not until then. And if you do, you get the Harvard Pilgrim healthcare discount, which saves you 25%. And again, the program is FSA and HSA eligible, and I'll be your coach. So thank you so much for your time, and live well, eat well, be well.